Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 45 of Takeaways. My name is Patrick Searcy. I'm the Director of Marketing for ALN Apartment Data, and I'm joined by the actual star of the show here, Jordan Brooks, our Senior Market Analyst. Jordan, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. It is trade show season. It's very busy around here. But today we're actually talking about the newsletter article from April. It's called Mixed Results to Begin 2024 for Multifamily. So in your article, you included a lot of market leaders for new supply in the quarter, but I noticed that you didn't have some market leader stuff for net absorption. What do you have?
There were definitely some standouts. It was more of a space issue in the newsletter itself. So in terms of markets from an absorption perspective, New York and LA actually were kind of the two leaders in the first quarter, and by a pretty wide margin. And then I'd say there were a couple other markets near the top of the list that wouldn't typically find themselves up there. So an example would be Philadelphia did pretty well in the quarter. Indianapolis was up there as well. And then you actually did see some of the larger Sunbelt markets have a pretty nice resurgence. So Orlando, Phoenix, Raleigh-Durham, Houston all did well in the quarter as well. And then just briefly, a couple of sort of smaller markets, if you take absorption as a share of existing stock. One in particular that really stood out, Madison, Wisconsin. It was near the top 10 for both total absorption and I think number 3 overall for sort of size-adjusted absorption. So Madison stood out as well.
So labor market and some fresh March data for jobs and inflation were briefly mentioned in the article. Anything more to unpack there?
You know, that really could be its own article, and it will be here sometime shortly, just to kind of dig into some of what's been going on that front in the last few months. I think in the newsletter, it got maybe 2 or 3 lines. One thing that I really wanted to point out is the increase in the number of people with multiple jobs. That increased by over 200,000 in just the last month from February to March in the seasonally adjusted data. So that was, I think, an interesting, indicator. Again, we don't want to make too much of just 1 month data, but that certainly bears watching in the coming months. We really had kind of been on a downtrend in terms of multiple job holders since the holiday season, which would be pretty typical. And then suddenly now we've seen a pretty good jump in the month over month data there. So that bears watching. Also, there was a lot of coverage about the job creation coming in above estimates, but I would say there were some cracks in that report. I mean, most, if not all, of the job growth was part-time job growth. If you look at it by sector, the growth really came from health services and government. So, those are still new jobs, but it wasn't really broad-based across the sectors in terms of large gains. And, the inflation data had been kind of trending in the wrong direction for a few months at this point. The March number obviously came in higher than expected. And if you, again, look at the line items, you've got services way up. You've got beef in terms of the grocery items, that's way up. Baby food and formulas, 10% up year over year still. So some particular pain points in the line items that I think maybe are obfuscated a little bit by the headline numbers, and just some things that bear watching moving forward, I would say.
Well, I kind of mentioned at the beginning that it's the busy season. So I know for you have several things coming up at least. Let's talk about what's up next.
It is definitely the busy season. So I will be at the Globe Street Conference in New York. Actually, maybe before this comes out, later this week. So if anyone's there and this does go out in time, say hello there. Otherwise, I'll be at the VAMA conference on April 24th doing a session. And then I'll be at the TAA conference the very next day, April 25th, doing a session there. Everyone cross your fingers for my flights, please, on those. And then April 30th, I will be doing a panel discussion with HAA in Houston for one of their submarkets. And I think that is it for the rest of April. So a busy schedule coming up over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, we look forward to seeing you in San Antonio, and I know that we'll be seeing you elsewhere. So we're looking forward to that. Also, keep an eye on our blog, alndata.com/blog, for any of our brand new content. You can also follow us on your preferred social media channel. You can find us ALN APT Data on X, or you can just search for ALN Apartment Data on Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, or on YouTube. And don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to click the notification bell, hit like and subscribe. It helps our channel grow and helps more people see our content. Jordan, we really appreciate your time today, and we look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thanks, Patrick. See you soon.